Uh, Together, you and I. Let's make a new world. Dun, 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 dun. World spinning over and over. We can make the world spin. I know we can, I know we can. World spin and over. We can make the world spin. Dun, 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 dun. John Stroud, what's good, brother?
Yo, yo.
Hey, we gotta keep this thing cracking. We getting it cracking tonight, man. For real, for real.
Yeah, this is a good one tonight.
This is a good one, and I didn't think it was gonna be as good as it is, but it turned out to be even better than what I thought. Eb done showed up. Eb, what's good with you?
Eb in the building.
Eb is definitely in the building.
I'm here.
I want to start off. We've been kind of quiet tonight.
I'm agreeing with a lot. I agree a lot. I'm agreeing with a lot. I am. Okay, I'm just putting it all in right now.
We still gotta hear from you. You know, we're gonna wait till we. Matter of fact, fuck it. Go ahead. Now, what you think about what all we was talking about? We got. Go ahead.
I think we still speaking about it from our perspectives to the point that there's really no solution. You know, we hearing about, well, this is what y'all think, and this is what y'all think. How do we change that to this is what we think?
Take ourselves out the scenario and then talk about people in general as opposed to who I date and who I deal with.
But the thing is that's kind of hard because all these scenarios might not apply. So we're trying to explain it from our point of view.
Right, but right. But the way that I understand being able to get this on a global scale, as opposed to from Johnny's perspective, is to look at how. Well, you can look at the data statistics and see from that. But even if you didn't do that, we still know enough because we're surrounded by people, and we as men, we hear how men speak when we're not around women. You women hear how you speak when you're not around men, when you're at the beauty shop or getting your nails done, you know, where men aren't at. So you have a better understanding of, okay, this is the real pulse of what women really feel like, as opposed to bullshit that people say, you know, and everybody's doggone fucking politician at this point. So you know how we all can ascertain from that what people, a better understanding of what people really think.
Right.
Well, then if we're going based off that, then I'm gonna take myself out of it. And generally speaking, I think a lot of women feel like Black women are the least protected. We're the most disrespected. And it's like they feel like everybody's coming at us. You got Black men who like white women emulating us. Like it's a barrage of things. And I also think that Black men, from what I gather, they feel the same way. They feel attacked. And so you have two people in one community that are both feeling attacked. And I think some of this is fueled by outside influences. So it keeps us arguing about shit that really just don't matter. Like at the end of the day, you know, we have to establish that we love each other, period. And that's the first thing. I think that we've lost value in each other. Black men have lost value in Black women, and Black women have lost value in Black men. And we need to figure out how to regain that faith and that love with each other within, and I'm not talking about even romantic love, but just that love and that respect and that compassion, you know, that we had for our grandparents and that love and that familiar love. We need to get that back, and so that we're able to gain that respect and that understanding of how to relate to each other. Because right now, I don't think that we properly relate to each other. Like, we let everybody else tell us how we should relate to each other, as opposed to actually doing the work ourselves. And that creates a conflict, because nobody outside of our community should be able to tell us how to relate. And I think it's intentional. Like, I think that interference is intentionally to keep us apart and keep that friction going. And we have to learn how to drown that noise out and come together and have a conversation with each other that's very beneficial on just how to get along. How do I respect you? What do you need from me as a Black woman in order for you to feel like I respect you and I love you? And Black men, what do we need to do for you all to feel like we're protected and we love you all? Like those are real conversations that we need to have.
Oh, great
We're having
questions.
too many different
Great
experiences
question.
individually and then trying to come together, if that makes any sense. Think about a Black man. Think about all the experiences he has to have from sunup to sundown and all the interactions that he has from sunup to sundown. Then think about the Black woman.
But don't you think that we all want the same thing, to feel respected and loved within our community? Like I don't think that those things that we meet outside of our communities, like when we come back in, like we essentially want to be loved. We want to feel cared for. We want to feel respected. We want to, feel valued. That I value, I respect you, I love you, I cherish you. Let me, what can I do to help? And I think it all starts out with us asking each other, what can I do to help? What can I do for you? Not you fucking up, or not that you ain't doing something, but what is it that I can do for you in order to facilitate us coming back together?
Well, I think
Honestly, I think those. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, John.
Honestly, I think. Okay, without trying to sound like I'm male biased, men have been hearing women's perspectives of this is where y'all fucking up for the entirety of our lives since, what was it, 1979 is when I was born. So television shows about this is what Black men need to do, and this is what Black men need to do, and this is what that has never stopped ever. That show still continues on all over the media, all through whatever, and it's not wrong, because even since I was a kid, it's always been, yeah, those motherfucking dudes who ain't doing this, yeah, y'all are pieces of shit. Y'all not doing this. The larger conversation of what women need to do in order to police themselves up, like Will was saying, that is not a conversation that happens on any type of grand scale. That, if it happens at all, that's some shit that happens at your mama's house, maybe at Thanksgiving, maybe when y'all by yourself. That is not something that happens. It's not as permeated throughout the society or media as it is for men. So men, we get extremely upset. I'll speak for myself. I get extremely upset when I constantly hear, men, this is what you got to do. Got it. Looking at men and women, men, we have made the stride as male, Black males. We've made the stride. I'm in no way am I saying that Black men are where we need to be completely. I don't think anyone is, but we've made strides as a group, right? Whereas women have not made those strides in as it relates to men. Women have made the strides in getting the bag, getting the money, taking care of themselves, and uplifting themselves to a higher echelon. But as you, Alicia, you always talked about going back from the late 60s to 70s, when they kicked out the Black man from the home, women have been like, yep, fuck them, moving on. And now we're at the point where women say, so now it's like, no, I don't have to listen. I don't need you now for the past 40, 50 years. Y'all ain't got nothing. Y'all can kiss ass. The
problem is that because we are idolaters and realize that we set aside to do anything for a dollar. We said going to the figures with our see, that's the whole on the fucking planet. And I think essentially that's that makes it more acceptable or more better than our than the rest of our people. And that's a delusion, because you're never gonna have what they got. No matter how hard you try, you're never gonna have as much as they got, or be accepted amongst their ranks, or have a seat at their table. You see, and I always go back to segregation. Now, I didn't grow up in that era, but from what I understand about segregation, all we had was us. That's the part. That's when there was no misconceptions about where you stood, no matter if you had a Black business on Black Wall Street, or if you had a big piece of land and acres of land and all this other stuff, you was still a nigga in the eyes of white America. That's
still niggas not Canard.
We still are now. But see, the difference was now they didn't put the delusion up that if you got this amount, or you own this, or you buy that, then you're better than everybody else. And it's a delusion, because at the end of the day, the world still sees you as what you are, no matter what you got. See?
Well, but that's why I said, instead of like pointing fingers, like not saying the men ain't shit and not saying the women ain't shit, instead of that narrative, because that automatically has the people on defense. Canard, what can I do to better our relationship? John, what can I do to facilitate a healthy relationship for us. And I think that when we start asking those questions, as opposed to, Kennard, you're not doing this, John, you ain't doing this is y'all like that's automatically gonna make you defensive. Like, that's natural. So, but if I come to you and say, hey, what can I do to help facilitate a better relationship? That leaves you open, because that leaves me open to say, hey, I'm open to your suggestions. And then you're more readily able to tell me what it is that you need. And that facilitates a conversation. And it may take a few conversations. It may take thousands of conversations. But essentially what we're doing is we're asking an open-ended question, so that leaves way for a conversation that we definitely need to have. And like you said, like, the money is bullshit. Like, it's really bullshit. The money will take care of itself. We've always been able to get money, but we need to get back to being with each other in a way that we should. Like, no other community has this issue between a man and a woman but the Black folks, and we have to get a handle on that. We have to, and not only get a handle on it, but we have to teach our children better. Like, we have to stop talking about running up a fucking bag and making that a priority. It's good to have money. Like, you need money to live. You need money to do a whole lot of stuff, but money ain't shit without respect. Money ain't shit without somebody to share with. Money ain't, you can't have a lot of money and don't have no man. We're not meant to be without each other. And until we get to a point that we ain't gonna be shit. We ain't gonna never be shit until we get to understand that I can't be anything without the Black man. The Black man can't be shit without me. And how do we fix this? What do we do?
We have to see the value of one another. Is that, Black men have to learn to see the value in a Black woman, and Black women have to learn to see the value in the Black man. We provide two different sets of things as far as man and woman. Mm-hmm. And we can, in fact, work good together. There was a point in time where we were, and some of us still do today. Some of us choose to work with one another. We should be partners. There shouldn't be none of this ego competition shit, like, oh, I'm better than you, I make more money than you, I got a couple of degrees or whatever. That's all irrelevant. What we should really learn to prioritize with is reestablishing the Black family, the Black man, the Black woman, and Black children. We need to get to a stage to where that's a priority for us. And like you said, the money is going to come. As sure as you out here, you have ambition and you have drive and you're not scared to work hard to get what you want, you will, in fact, earn money. You know what I mean? That's but now you got a thing where people are going around. I go down my feed, and people are, oh, I'm off to the bag, off to the paper, and all this.
To the Wendy's to work. They on their way to Wendy's to clock in.
Girl, shut up. If you don't shut up.
I'm about sick of them.
Shut your mouth.
The main ones always talking about a bag. Yeah, you gotta go. You always on the way to make a bag. You got a $7.25 an hour job. That's why the fuck you always talking about going to catch a bag. You probably going to get a bag of Wendy's, your free lunch and shit.
Who pissed off? Shit.
What did you guys got against the chocolate frosty? I need to know what's happening.
She seemed angry at Wendy's, right?
Really?
I have been quiet for too long. I had to come back with a bang.
She went off. Who pissed her off at Wendy's?
No, I see that shit and I be looking at these people, right? I'm like, okay, I go to work every day and I'm probably making more money than you. You don't see me. I hate going to work. So I'm not finna get on the talk, gotta make a bag. Okay, I'm glad I'm glad you working at Harold Washington Library, wherever the fuck you at. But I don't give a fuck.
Now it's books.
Damn, you gonna talk about the Black man? Damn.
Talking all that shit. Ain't you on the train with me? You got that many bags. You need to be dropping me off in your motherfucking car.
Damn. Go smoke one.
Every morning. I swear to God, that shit is real though. Everything else said was real. Everything.
But I also think that, like what you said, Kanai, like I think the roles, like there's no roles, there's no defined roles. So you got women walking around in this fucking masculine ass energy, and these men walking around in this like it's never going to work out, because naturally it's natural for a man to be attracted to a woman. So even when you get with somebody that's pretty, she fine, but she act like a whole dude. eventually that's going to become a problem, especially when you talk about behaviors, because if you're behaving like me, there's nothing attractive. And that's the same thing with the man. If I like men and you handsome, bitch in you, that's not going to be attractive to me because we're not fulfilling our roles. And I think that that's part of the problem. I think part of the issue is that society is teaching us that it's okay for you to be like fucking asexual, cisgender. No, you can feel like a woman all you want, but you got balls. You're a man.
Right.
You can feel like a man all you want, but you have breasts. You're still biologically a woman. And I don't take that from anybody who feels a way, but I have a problem with them saying that children are able to decide their gender, because I don't understand how you can decide your gender in elementary school, but you can't drink, you can't have no gun. It's a lot of stuff that you can't do because you're not old enough, but that you're old enough to do.
You also can't decide your race, but you can decide your gender.
Exactly. At such a very young age, and then we're placating the shit too. Like how you gonna they? Like either you are a him or her. Those are the only two sexes involved. So if you a woman feeling like a man, okay, I can get with calling you him, but please don't ask me to call you they. I'm not, I can't. It doesn't make sense to me. And I think we're patronizing a lot of bullshit and foolishness that is leading up to why we can't get along, because now we have all these pronouns and these rules and genders, ain't no gender. You don't have to have a gender. Bullshit. You're born whatever you're born with. If I got ovaries, I'm a woman. I can have babies. That makes me biologically a woman, no matter what I feel like and what I look like.
And if I want a man,
if I want a man, it's imperative for me to behave like a lady. And I want to point this out to y'all too, since I'm on my soapbox. There is the art of being a lady is gone. Like I remember I went to charm school and cotillions. Like my mother sent me to all that stuff. I see these young ladies walking down.
No, but it's not. Look, guess what?
Heartbeat.
They had it out here too. I was in a cotillion and I was a debutante.
Yeah. My mother sent me.
I learned all of that shit, but I was still rough. But I still learned all that shit.
I wasn't rough when I left.
I know how I was rough.
Take that hand off. We not already seeing your naturals, your curls.
Nope.
Looking like Eddie K.
I'm being bullied, and I'm triggered right now.
I feel like going on.
Okay.
Open your jacket. Nice like this, I wish.
You can't get it because you ain't got it.
But I'm just saying, like, I think a lot of the issues that you have, a lot of women are not being taught how to be ladies. So you see, I mean, you all see these young ladies walking down the street in these heels. They can't even walk in heels because they stomp like dudes, because nobody has taught them there's an art to being feminine. And it shows when you talk about submission. Like, I don't want to submit, but man, submitting to a man is the hardest thing, and it gives me, I ain't gonna even lie, submitting to my man gives me a lot more power over him than most women think. I'm sorry, I was telling Kennard and Will this a couple of weeks ago, man, when my brothers and my sons and them come around, man, my wrist be broke. I can't do shit. I'm so weak around them. I can't do a damn thing. Not nothing. Not nothing. And I do that because, man, they like to do shit like go get my car washed, go get the gas in the car, go take my car. Man, I love all that shit, because guess what? I don't want to do it. So if I have to act like I can't do it, I'm too weak, man, that worked for me, and it make them feel good. My son comes in my house every day. Mama, you need your garbage taken out? Yes, son, please take it out. He come right in from work. My son worked 12-hour shifts, will come in my house, and I've been home all day and empty my garbage. You need something else? How you doing, beautiful? Give me a kiss. And he gone back out the house and go back into his house. But that my son does that every day. When my husband come get me, he come get my bag, go grab my bags, go get my, I don't care shit. He might carry my purse if I act like it's too heavy. He be like, God damn, what you got this book bag? It's too heavy, baby. Nigga will walk around the store with my purse. Man, do y'all know what kind of power? I mean, and I ain't being funny. Like, I'm not saying it because I'm using them, but that's a lot of power for a man to grab your purse and walk around the store with it and not give a shit who see him carrying the purse, because I don't want to carry. It's too heavy for me, so he gonna carry it. Man,
but see, one thing that's important is it also has to be an exchange of power, because just as much as you're doing for him, he got to be doing the same amount for you.
Right.
But to be clear, he's because, and even my son, even my brothers, even my cousins, because they have done so much for me, I have no problems. When I'm around my male cousin will tell you now, they don't make their plates. I make their plates and I bring their plates to them. I will clean up the table around them. I will come get their plates and throw their shit in the garbage. And I cook it for them and I wash the dishes because I know anything that I ask them to do, they're going to do it. Same thing with my son, same thing with my guy. I don't have a problem. Like, I don't think when you say stuff like that, it gives a tit for tat thing. Like I do for them because they've already shown me what they're going to do for me. Right. As long as I stay in that feminine energy. So I'm weak, nigga. I'm weak. My wrist broke. I don't understand shit. I'm half crazy. Just please come fix it. I can't.
Like you said, that makes a man feel like when I first bought nothing made me feel like a man than to one, bring home my fucking paycheck. Right. 2, before I had fucking gardeners, cut my grass. And 3, I don't fucking know, like go fix some shit. I'm the most unhandy motherfucker on earth. If I touch it, I swear to God, I'm breaking it. But it makes me feel like a man that I can go and pretend like I'm, if I got a whole tube belt and shit, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I YouTube everything, but it makes me feel manly to be able to go do some shit like that. So if a woman plays into that and like, well, can you put the windshield wiper in my car, which is the only thing I know how to do? Hell yeah, girl, I can do stuff.
Man, I know how to look. My uncle taught me how to do all that stuff. I know how to change oil, put wiper blades on. I know how to change the heat coil and dryer, but guess what I ain't gonna do? You more man than me, because I goddamn it, I don't. I ain't gonna do none of it. I'm not gonna do none of it. If I had to call somebody to have them call somebody to come and fix it, I do that before I fix it because I want them to feel value and because women want to feel value and needed too. Like I like to cook, I like to clean, I like to do laundry, I like to feel like what I'm doing is of service to you, that I'm a benefit to you, that I'm helping you, I'm relieving something from you. And really, like, I got my own money, but it's not even financial. Like, I want to feel like you value what I bring to the table outside of money. Like, I make your life easier in this house. So, even like my son works 7 days a week, 12-hour shift. I literally wash my son's clothes. I wash them, I fold them, and I hang them up because he works. His sister makes his lunch every day.
My bag, I'm back, y'all. I'm back.
Nigga,
all good.
nigga.
What, Alicia? What now? What I do now?
Nigga, are we glad to see you, Will?
I'm glad to see you.
She was just talking about you an ancient nigga. She just said that. She was just saying that when you got in the car.
Don't let
I ain't even laying down right now. I'm relaxing.
So is John.
I ain't been. I'm up. I'm good.
Whoever said that was a good one. Whoever just said so is John.
Alicia?
Said that was really good.
That was Alicia.
Said what?
Yeah, you said you was relaxing, and then she said, "So is John's hair."
That was quick.
Alicia, boy, with these jokes, boy. She good for
Southside nigga.
I ain't mad at her.
I just said. Luscious curls.
Since you be preaching, though, I ain't mad at you. You be preaching.
No,
you be preaching.
Hell, I ain't got
You
too
be
much
on
to say
point.
because she done said it all.
I did want to say something though, to go along with everything we was just discussing right now. One thing about men, and arguably you could say any man, every man needs to feel a sense of purpose. So I felt what Alicia was saying. She said a couple of times, and I understand it, and I understand that Alicia understands how the whole shit works, is that it is a give and a take. Alicia was just talking about, okay, I don't mind making their plates and cleaning up the table after them, this and that. But they don't mind, grabbing their garbage and offering to do this, that, and the third for you. So there's an exchange that's working together. See, there's a mutual respect there. But see, today what you have is, it's more of a selfish type of thing. Whereas, I don't need no man, or I don't need no woman. I can do this, I can do that. And that's like Alicia said, I could, you said you can work on cars, you do stuff like that. And I'm sure there's a lot of other women that can, but it's not about what you can do. It's about making your man feel needed. See, that's important to a man. Every man needs to feel needed. Every woman needs to feel needed. You don't want to just be there as an accessory or a fucking just there, you just there. No, you need to have a sense of purpose with the person that you're dealing with. and regardless if you can or can't do it, or you can or can't pay for it, that man needs to feel that he's needed. Otherwise, he's gonna go where he feels needed. And it's the same with the woman. The woman needs to feel needed. She needs a sense of security. If she's not getting it there, she's gonna go somewhere else and get it. See, and so, you know, I still go back to the maturity thing. It's a thing about maturity and growing up. We're not kids no more. Some of us just do not want to let go of our childhood. We do not want to fucking grow up. We play these kiddie games and we have these unreal, and dudes, some of these guys have these unreal expectations of women. Motherfucker want a porn star, a fucking star chef. She got to swallow. She got to fucking have a badass girlfriend that get freaky at a moment's notice on top of her. You're not gonna get that. And if you do get that, you're gonna have to maintain that. Could you imagine what you got to go through for a chick, a top shelf chick, who got a girlfriend that'll let you hit? God damn it, that don't mind if you God damn it got a side piece and all this other time. You're gonna have to go through. You're gonna be paying a whole lot for that.
Get so sick of that shit. It's bad enough you only give me 4 minutes. Now I gotta split 2 with another bitch. I hate niggas like that.
Ebony Hill, Jesus Christ.
Like the fuck?
She said half a pump.
Nigga, get on my fucking nerves.
She said half a pump.
That's funny.
Now I'm down to half a
Split
pump.
4 minutes.
So you just gonna leave 2. You just gonna unsatisfy 2 women. Why?
Say it. Look, you gotta your expectations. You gotta come back down to earth. Fuck all this in the clouds, my head in the clouds bullshit. You got.
I think that's what it is. That's internet shit. That's social media and fantasy and people.
The crazy thing is it drives me crazy. It's like they want this fantasy shit. I want this man to be this way. I want this man to be that way. But follow all that reality TV shit. Make up your mind, because more than like, and then it's like you want that, but then you want the drama of the reality shows in your relationships and shit too. It's too fucked up. What the fuck do you want?
But I think
that's true. I'm glad you said that. Most people. What's that?
Go ahead, John.
No, I'm saying I'm glad you said that. Like, most people don't seriously sit and think what they actually want. Like, the average person will put more time and think about their college career. They'll put more time into buying a house. They'll put more time into fucking learning a hobby, how to make t-shirts, than they actually will, and decide, well, what the fuck is it that I really want? Want versus need. Which one can I really live without? People are goddamn silly. Like no boy, they still think they're talking about
immature.
They're immature. They're like children. Oh, I want the guy to be making. Case in point, you start talking about women that some like, oh, I want the guy to be making. What do you really want in the guy? Oh, he got to be making this amount of money. First
that's
of all,
not a person.
If that's where you're
that's
starting,
not a person.
Right, if that's where you're starting, you've already fucked up. Like, if you, especially your our age, you 40 plus, and you start, motherfuckers start asking you what you want in the spouse, and you start talking about money, you fucked up in the game. If you don't start
work at the U.S. federal government, work for the Federal Reserve, where you work around money.
Right.
Get off on that.
It gets weird. Like,
you can see the money and then you call that a man. Oh, look at all that man. All that man.
Exactly.
All old white dead men.
That's true, because they feel the money is the man. If you have
look at that man.
Money can supplement the man part. Like, if I got enough money, the money can supplement the
that man look like them red bottoms. Ooh, you see that man I'm hanging on my wrist?
When you're looking at your unrealistic expectations, how does that benefit me? Like, in totality, like, even when you're talking about a woman that got a girlfriend and all this stuff, like, how does that enhance your life? Like, what does that do for your life? Because eventually you get tired of that. People get old. People get, like, vaginas get dry. You go through menopause. Your balls might drop. Like,
hey, that's what
as you get older, things happen.
Right.
You know, and so physically you don't have those things anymore. So when you
will.
I'm just messing.
I don't know. I'm just those things don't happen to everybody. But
okay, that's all. Look, okay, so the lube solves the problem with the woman. Y'all gonna get a ball bra for them saggy jokers or what?
Well, you can put a bra on and put some drawers on and whatever. If she loves it, she gonna rock with it anyway.
On the ball.
But my point is, like, everything physically, it changes. So when you're looking for somebody to spend your life with, like, what is your end goal? What are you hoping to achieve? What kind of life do you want to live? And if those goals, a bad bitch with a friend that can let me hit, how is that beneficial to your life? Like, what is that enhancing your life? And when you talk about your 10, 15, 20-year plan, where does that fit into it? And if it doesn't,
that's too deep. That's too deep for the masses.
Right
but when you're marrying somebody, it's not. It's really not.
No, I know what you're saying.
Marriage is definitely a business decision. So when you get married, how do we benefit each other? What are we looking at doing? What is our goals? What are we, even being like-minded, when you talk about our children may have grandchildren. Like, our children may have children. What are we hoping for our grandchildren? What do we want to do? Are we hoping, like, I want to be retired so that I'm able to help raise my grandchildren so they don't have to go to another school. I want to be able to do that. So that's my goal. So anybody that I get with, this is my goal. Can you put me in a position? Can you help me in a position where we can still get money, but I'm able to do it from home? I'm able to facilitate helping our grandchildren not be around these strangers. We're so impulsive. We're so we need to be satisfied right now that we don't think about anything past what the fuck we want right at this point. And whatever we want at that point is the decision that we make. And we don't look past the 5 years, which is why a lot of people aren't married, because what we're looking for is a quick fix, a quick feel, some satisfaction, a quick gratification. And you're not thinking about how that.
Yep.
You ain't lying.
Motherfuckers doing all of this so they can look good and post pictures on Instagram. Little do they know they got a half stick of parquet in their damn refrigerator, but they got Birkin bags. You know what I'm saying?
Girl, did you say a half stick of parquet?
I was just about to thank you. I was gonna please go ahead, continue. Go ahead. You take this one.
That's what I'm saying. Or these niggas out here with these things and talking about all these women and always flashing the motherfucking the same $20 fucking in front of the camera all the damn time, but they going home and they sleeping on a half filled up air mattress and shit. But somebody else talking about the shit that they got. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Or they'll even go get married and stuff. Yeah, they got married. They missy and wifey type and all that shit like that. But they hate each other and probably don't even sleep in the same room.
Right.
Yeah, you had that. See, and I agree with you, Em, because it's a lot of that front and bullshit going on, and people try to paint the picture like everything gravy. It's all a facade. You know what I mean? And that goes back to like what Will said and what I said earlier as far as maturity. At some point you should want to grow up and become a man, grow up and become a woman. Because if you live in your life for the social media thing, to me, that's the worst kind of way to live, because you'll never really be able to get true satisfaction from that, because, it's just, okay, you get your little 2 seconds of fame and that's it. People don't give a fuck about you on social media, and you have to get to a stage to where, you're doing what's best for you and your life as a whole, not the momentary shit. The self-gratification shit, Black folks, we too spoiled. We want to be spoiled so bad. We want everything our way. It's always got to be about us, and we're losing because of that. We don't even know what sacrifice means. We don't know what selfless service and honor and integrity, and those are some Army values. But
I was about to say, niggas, you about to go through all the Army values.
No, I was gonna go through that.
I start thinking about it.
You seriously about to start your feet in this motherfucker?
I'm gonna stop myself. But we don't know these type of things, and these type of things that'll help build a family, and not only build it, but to help it to thrive. And we always looking for solutions for things like this, these problems that we have, and they really cut and dry. It's just, again, we need to come back down to earth. Get off that fucking rocket ship, get off that spacecraft bullshit, and being
that white pony.
Right, y'all off that type of shit. Understand that you're not perfect. Understand that the person that you're gonna meet or the person
you with is not perfect.
Okay,
be realistic.
Be realistic and get you somebody that you can work together with. Somebody
Right.
willing to go that road with you and fight this battle with you, because it's not an easy battle. Okay. This shit don't get no easier. I mean, you know, from bills to emotions to whatever. It's not an easy battle. But the last thing you need is to have to come home after fighting out in the street with work and everything else, then have to come home and fight again. That's the last thing you want. You know, and
You
especially
know what, Kennard? The fact that everything that you just said, and get some goddamn therapy, because you can't please another motherfucker if you don't know you. If you don't know what makes you happy, how the fuck you expect me to know what to make you? You need to figure out you. Like, understand, like, okay, maybe again, going back from those wants and needs. This is what I need. This is what I want. This would be cool. This not so much. But if we as individuals, you got to get some counseling to figure out, okay, this is what I actually want. This is what I need for myself to sustain. That way I know what I can blow off from some type of potential mate. Like, okay, it'd be cool if she was blah, blah, blah. But what I actually need is this, and all the rest of that shit is just extra.
But I think that we do that. But again, I think that it goes back to self-gratification, because anybody that wants that quick gratification, they're going to do everything that Kennard said don't do. Like, you're not going to invest in is she going to be peaceful to me? Is she going to be actually helpful? Is he going to be this kind of man? Is he going to be that? Because what you're looking at is the now. So you don't even get to a point where you're thinking about the type of person they are. Just like we talked about, what, like you said, if you initially say, well, what kind of man you want, you start talking about money or how fast she is, Nick, you already lost the game already, because what you're talking about is traits that can change. Like, you can lose money real quick, like it happens. You can become, you can be your face can be tore up. So anything can happen. So when you start out with those two things, you're talking about things that are easily gratified. That's gratification. So you're not talking about, if the bills get fucked up, can we maintain this relationship? Can we work together in a hard time to get through this? Because you ain't even thinking about that. You're thinking about how fat her ass is and how big his pockets are. So you don't even get to like a real substantive, I don't even know if that's the word. Is that a word?
It is from the South Side.
A substantial relationship, because you haven't got past just what you're looking at and what you want to be gratified with. So no, you're not going to get talking about bills or what if he gets sick, or what if she gets sick? How can I maintain, or what do we do, or how do we get through arguments or tough times, or how do we get counseling together to kind of better our, like, you're not thinking about none of this, because all of your shit is self-gratification. Is some selfish shit. You're thinking about you. You're not thinking about that other person or how to work with that other person. So you got two selfish motherfuckers in a relationship. It's never going to be anything other than a fucking disaster from the beginning, because nobody is thinking about the other person or how to work together as a team. It's just about what I can get from this person in this moment, and how I can continue to benefit from this person until it's not any benefit. And then I go on to the next person, which is exactly what we're doing.
And on top of that, the kids suffer for it too.
Yeah.
Because the parents are too into their own lives. They're too into their selfishness and their want to be spoiled mentality. And the kids are left flapping in the wind. And like I say, if you brought, and I'm going to say this because we had a minute 46. If you brought me to a party, around a bunch of people I didn't know, and you just left me there while you out there doing whatever you're doing in the party, I'm going to be pissed off. So essentially, I can understand the kids being so aggressive and angry today, because that's essentially what happened to the kids. A lot of these mothers and fathers, they out there doing whatever they want to do, and they just leave the kids at the party by themselves. No direction, no nothing, no rules, no law, no morals. You just here. You see what I'm saying? That makes them vulnerable. That makes them impressionable, And so that's why a lot of these kids turn to the streets. The streets is looking for kids like that. And see, don't nobody want to stand up and say, oh yeah, I dropped the ball. I could have did a better job. No, it's just, you don't hear two words from them up until they get shot by a cop or some punk shit like that. But we had a minute left. And I didn't want to get on my soapbox either, but I think we had a really good show tonight. I think we always have a really good show. I'm happy to see John, and I'm happy to see Ed. I'm happy to see Alicia and Will. I'm hoping we can get Tamika on the next one. I really do. We got less than a minute, but so if anybody got any last words, just say them all at the same time before it cut off.
I love you, black man.
I love you, black woman.
I love
Sister.
light-skinned black women too.
Right on, right on, right on.
Hey.
I lay down next week.
Every day.
I give my sexy pose next week.
Okay.